Yo guys, welcome back to this channel. In this video we're going to talk about Q&As, common questions that people ask when it comes to personal finance. We answer it based on our own personal opinion and based on our, experience as well. What would we
We're not financial advisor, we're not accountant,
No.
just normal people.
Normal couple with two kids living in Sydney.
In an apartment.
In the middle of the city.
Yep.
At the age of late 30s. Common. Don't have a job.
Anyway. Okay, this question, very interesting.
Very interesting. It's a bit
Very
long,
long.
a bit wordy, but hopefully you can actually follow it because it took me a while to actually follow it. Anyway, here we go. What would you do? I'm 60 years old, working full time, living rent free at the moment. I own. So I have 4-bedroom house which is purchased back in 2000. Worth roughly about $700,000 with a mortgage of $340,000. Getting a rent of roughly about $533 per week. House has a sea view, beautiful, in a suburb, in a great suburb, in a huge, but it needs a huge amount of maintenance. Nothing structural. So based on the picture, you got your lawn, your gardening,
Cleaning,
maybe a swimming pool.
Yeah. Swimming pool? No, it doesn't look like it.
Oh, it's two-story high, so a lot of maintenance. 4-bedroom. Now, mind you, this particular person is 60 years old, so probably don't have the energy to do that stuff, and require like a cleaner coming in. So here's the problem: do I continue to rent this out and do the maintenance, or sell it? Buy a 2-bedroom apartment for $350,000 each. Oh, so $350,000. However, you've got your Strata, your levies, and all that stuff. Like your gardening has been taken care of. The Strata is roughly about $4,000 a year in a resort complex with pool and tennis court. Rental potential of $350 per week. Rent that out for a while. Rent that out for a while I still have this free rent situation. Huge Strata fees, I know, but this is a place I feel I could live in once my current accommodation no longer available. What would you do?
So, in a nutshell,
$700,000 house. Okay,
got a mortgage
of $340. So if it's a $700,000 property,
half of it is mortgage.
Half of it is mortgage.
Half
but
is
if you
outright.
sell it, you can get about
$350, let's say.
Let's say
And he
$350.
intends to use that $350 to buy apartment outright.
purely because of the
Maintenance.
management and
right.
maintenance side of it.
Yeah.
Because if it's a like a standalone home, you gotta maintain that yourself. But if you have a 2-bedroom, the apartment, you've got your Strata, you don't have to worry about your bins, you don't have to worry about the swimming pool, the tennis court being maintained.
Yeah.
What would you do? We can't say much considering we're on the 30s.
Yeah.
However,
if at my 60s,
if
I
I
don't know,
would
I'm not
fast
there
forward,
yet. I'm not there yet.
I'm not there yet. If I would fast forward,
But I understand his point of view or her point of view about wanna get it outright, because we will want to get all our properties outright. Of course, everyone wants it, and you just get passive income. You don't really worry about your expenses because it's not that much if you own the house outright. But house and unit. A house versus a unit. I always would choose a house. Always.
reasoning.
You can add on a lot more value in it, and you own a piece of land instead of a strata.
Yep.
When you live in a strata, you can't really control much.
Especially like this particular one is like a resort style, so it's always going to be brand new stuff.
I don't know, and maintenance will be keep higher and higher and higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can't really add a lot of value on an apartment unless it's a very old apartment that needs renovation. But this particular property that they're saying, it's like one of those resort complex with pool. It sounded like all brand new stuff.
Maybe.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I don't know.
Like for me, it's like I would rather have a house, the same thing.
Yeah,
yes, it is a pain for the maintenance.
You can get someone and one reason is the house always you can add value, or maybe in the future they can do zoning, different zoning, duplex, knock it off, build unit, you can live in one, who knows. But there's opportunity for you to do other stuff on a house is much greater than a unit. Second, when you sell and buy, you lose a lot of money.
Yeah, as
Agent
in,
fee,
yeah, capital
marketing,
gain,
yeah,
agent
capital
fee.
gain tax, and then stamp duty.
So the cost of that, it can be really high.
Yeah.
Buying and selling a property transaction alone.
Mm.
So, and then yeah, definitely, and the value of a property, like in Sydney anyway, a house would go a lot more faster than a unit.
Yes, capital gain.
But
Because of the land, the value of it, right?
also you gotta look at it like if you're in that age bracket, you're probably retiring soon. Like, do you want to? If you have children, which we have, I wouldn't want my children pass this down to my children. Hopefully, they're doing something good about it.
You hope.
Hopefully. So yeah.
But if I were him or her, I'll stay in the house. Once I retire, I will keep it. I'll live in one of the room, and then maybe hire someone just to do the maintenance once a week or once a month.
I was talking to
I'll rent out separate rooms too,
Yeah.
right? Because you will get more cash flow when you
Yeah.
rent out the room individually.
On top of that, like the amount of money that you spend on Strata is bound to be the same amount of money for maintenance on your property.
Yes, it's just
But-
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can do it with your styling. Like, I want it a certain way of maintenance, and then you can do that. Whereas if it's a Strata, it's like, no, they just do the common area, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
All right, let us know. That's our opinion of having a house of one unit. Always would choose a house.
Yeah, so
I know
definitely
maintenance
house.
is hard.
Well, okay, this is a long one. So we do this one,
Next
skip
one,
that
please.
one. Next one.
Okay.
Okay, buyer's agent. So if you're thinking of investing on a property, I guess we did this. Personally, we actually experienced
Okay.
ourselves. So ask the question would be, you want to go?
Has anyone who has used a buyer's agent 2 or 3 times for an
Okay.
investment property purchase from start to finish? Yes. Care to share your experience? Oh, I would love to. I'm curious about what drove you, fee structure, value gained, and any tips in choosing one. Thanks.
So we bought roughly three
Three.
investment property with
With
buyer's
2
agent.
different agents.
We tested on one and then we tested another. Just figuring out what it feels like.
How much was it?
Let's say
back
about
then?
$10,000 per buyer's
They
agent.
increased a lot.
Yeah, so per transaction. So
Yeah.
when we bought it, it cost us per house, we have to pay $10,000 per transaction.
I
So
remember,
three-
yeah, so 30K that we spent.
Mhm.
No, the first one was 10, and then we used the same agent again a year or 2 within 2 years.
Within about 2 years, yeah.
$12,000 or 12 or 15 or something like that. I
Yeah.
can't remember. So what drove us? Convenience. Selling this beautiful idea of passive income, pay interest only. Anyway, pay interest only.
So, yeah, go on.
5 years later, refinance, like all these things that we're against now.
Yeah. So, like, for me, it all depending on your individual circumstances. Personally, we wouldn't do it. What we learned today after buying multiple investment property, would you do it?
It depends on everyone's circumstances. If you have the money, you don't have the time, I think not a bad idea.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't have time, you're really busy on your job, your family, but you have the money, you really want to put it somewhere.
But it costs you that much though.
But that's the time that you don't have to go.
Yeah, true.
You don't have to search. You don't have to do the calculation.
They
If
give
you
you,
don't have the time, I think it's okay.
but mind you,
No, but that's why we did it.
oh yeah, because
Right?
we didn't know any better. We didn't know, like we read a lot of investment property books because the scenario is like what drove us, because there's a lot of these books where they always tells you guys, if you don't know how to do it, then go with an expert
Yeah,
that
someone
knows how to do it,
yeah.
that done it frequently. And I thought, okay, then so I mean I should get it with them because they know best because they're in the industry.
And the marketing is so good. They're selling
Real-
this
yeah.
idea. Yeah.
Reality,
Mm-hmm.
nah. I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah. If you have more, if you're really time poor, yeah, maybe. But I think personally, educate yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, it's time consuming, but you spend your time once, and then next time you have your knowledge.
Yeah, like because the way they sell it to us is like, hey, buy this property, it will be X amount of dollars. Like the repayment. After repayment, you'll be
Your
pocketing.
rent.
Yeah, it should be break even. That
And
was
then you
both
have and you have a potential for these
to go up.
building,
Yeah.
like duplex, granny flat, whatever.
On top of that, it's like, oh, the rent will increase in the future. You know,
Yeah.
at the moment you break even because it's paying off all your mortgage plus the expenses, and then tomorrow you can track it up for another $10-20 per week.
But reality for one of our house.
No, but that I bet
that's the
that
idea,
that's
right?
that's what common buyers agent give you a calculation. I think both of them did a
Yeah,
calculation. They give us, hey, here's a property. This is how much you can borrow. This is how much you can spend. This is
The
based
rents.
on your visibility, like visibility studies, let's say. Based on your income and expenses, this is the rent that you should be getting. And it should be break even. I think it was like $10.
Something like that, or maybe 5 years or
Yeah.
2 years later, value of the house will increase. You can borrow, like
Take out
refinance
the
your money,
equity.
buy another one.
Buy another one.
Yeah, but in reality, the first one that we got, 5% down, and then it sounds so good. 5% down.
Looks
You'll
good on
maybe,
paper.
Maybe break even. You can build a granny flat in the future. But then once we're done, we got it. We kick out the old tenant, do renovation. That's what they recommended. Kick them out, do renovation, increase the rent. No, the rent was still the same.
Still the same,
Yeah.
and it
And
actually
empty for few months.
went down. So when the rent was expected, let's say $350, I think it was back
Can't
then.
remember.
Whatever it was, and then it was empty for a couple of months, and then we have to reduce the rent a little bit lower than what their projection was.
Yeah.
Now that you can't point the finger on them
Yes.
because they just
No
give
one
you a
can.
projection. Reality, it is massively different.
Oh, well, maybe we just unlucky. I'm sure
Maybe.
someone maybe is lucky. I've seen people, they bought 7 or 8 properties in 2 years.
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
people like that.
I'm sure there are people can do it, but not for us.
From us personally experience, no. Would I do it again? No. Curious about what drove us. It's pretty much time poor. The structure fees, look, we kind of don't have a gauge of understanding of it, so we just paid whatever
They ask
they
for.
asked for it. So
Yeah.
they paid, these are your fees, but you either, in a sense, it's like, hey, you buying something, these are the fees, you either take it or leave it. We took it. So value gain, is there a value gain on that?
Maybe the property, but not our education. I'll prefer people teach me, like if I have small knowledge, they just do the work. That's what you pay for. Get them to do the job. But I'll prefer to gain our own knowledge. But your knowledge, you only can gain it through experience. If you don't try, you will never know.
Now, mind you though, buyer's agent, they are salespeople. It is in their best interest to get you a property at a certain time. I think they like produce you 3 different properties, and then from there you choose from one of them. Like, if the thing is that they're not looking after the best interest of you, I say.
Yeah, all the business.
All
like
business
that.
like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, okay, so I got this mortgage now. Now I've got this debt, and I don't have any rental. Where do I go now? Good luck on that.
Yeah, sell it.
Then sell it.
Yeah. Exactly. And
do
they
your
don't
own.
take it back.
Yeah,
You
they
gotta
don't
find
take it back.
another agent
Exactly.
to sell for you.
You know,
I can't afford it. Can you take it back? No, we don't take it back. Yeah, that's one of it, right?
So it's not worth it because once the transaction happened, once it's settled, you got your mortgage, you got I guess a tenant in there. That's it. They
That's
walk
the
away.
job. Yeah.
The job after that, they walk away and they do another transaction, a brand new property again for another person. So, but at the same time, holding that property alone, there's maintenance involved. You need to understand what would happen if there's no tenant. What would happen if the property burnt down? Coming from experience, what would you do if you don't have enough cash flow? They told you based on your 5%, you should be happy, Larry. But what would you do if you can't afford all of this stuff? There's a lot of.
But that's interesting because we used 2 of the agent. One telling us 5% is done, and the other one is 20%.
20%.
Big difference.
Big difference. I think that the biggest key is like, if you can, do it with 20% or more.
Yes.
So, just like the first one is like 5% down, you can accumulate a lot more properties. But the other one is like, no, just 20% one property. Where it's like, oh no, but the value of your money, you can accumulate more properties, but the repayment on that is going to be high.
Yeah.
The juggling.
Yeah, the first one is like more monopoly. Where I play Monopoly, the game, the more property you want, of course, everyone wants it, but can you afford it? I want all the properties.
So from the first one, look, if you put 5% down, you could get 4 properties. Because 5%, 5%, right? But and then the other one is like 20% down. So their selling point is like get 4 properties on 5% down each. 4 properties. Downside of this personally is
what if 2 of them there's no tenant?
What if one of them's no tenant for a long time and become a lemon? What if you can't make the repayment all of this because with 5% down your repayment is going to be so high? Just because they can acquire these 4 properties, can you actually make the repayment? Does your rent actually cover? The main part actually is just the repayment. Like, is it going to be positively geared?
Can't remember how did they sell.
Yeah, they sell it to us as like, oh, it's gonna be break even at least, or like $10 positively geared.
No, they did it like after tax or something.
Yeah,
like,
after tax.
Negatively geared, but you can get a tax return.
Yeah.
But I'm still out of pocket.
I
gotta pay 10k and then pay tax and pay all these. When am I getting nothing?
Nothing. Like for me, it's like the bottom line is, am I gonna be positively geared? I got the idea. It's like you're gonna buy this and it's gonna be positively geared and it's gonna be putting money in your pocket. Reality, it wasn't the case.
Yeah. Well, but it's learning curve.
It's a learning curve.
Yeah.
But somehow,
and we did it 3 times.
Yeah, I know. But at the same time, like we did 2 of those. Now, by a certain way of doing things, ended up being positively geared. Even that alone, I learned that myself.
Yes.
How did I turn a negatively geared property to positively geared property?
Yes.
My learning curve on that, I have to learn it all by myself.
Yeah, all experience. Correct. You just need to learn a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read a lot of books, YouTube,
podcasts.
Yeah.
Just, see, that's the value is your own knowledge.
Yeah. So if you have if you're time poor, if you think that you need
the expert to do it, let them do it.
Yeah,
and if you have the money, yes, do it. I don't really against it. But after all the experience, if we going to do it again,
if we'll go back,
maybe.
With our knowledge now?
No.
See? With our knowledge now alone, you won't.
Maybe we'll put 20% instead of 5%.
That's one. I think that's our key point. Our key point is like, if you can put 20% deposit.
The point is less that you have, the better.
The less what?
Debts you have, less mortgage.
Yeah, right. The less debt that you have, the better it is. Just because, there's a lot of news out there that you want, certain Joe Blow own 20 houses. But
in 2 years.
Yeah. The stress level that comes with 20 houses. It's a lot. So,
and you never know if they're negatively geared. If they're positively geared, of course, yes, the bank will lend you more money. But if all of them negatively geared, then the bank won't lend you any more money and get more. Negatively
geared? Property that's costing you money. Don't like that. Property that every week, after all the
everything,
expenses,
I don't care about tax.
Yeah.
Just put money in. I don't mind pay tax. I don't mind it.
I would rather pay tax. The more tax I pay, it means it shows that you actually are making money.
Yes.
If you don't pay tax, or if you're trying to minimize tax, it goes, why do you want to minimize tax? Like, if your property performing, you should pay tax. The more tax you pay, that means you're making a lot more money on your property. So, I guess that's a lot. I guess the people mentality. Like, I gotta save tax. No, on your property you should be paying tax. We're a bit different in that aspect. Yeah. So we want cash flow, and that was the reason why we do this. And because of that, the way I managed to change it to positively give cash flow, you stay at home. So anyway, she stay at home. She hasn't been working.
No, this is my uniform.
So anyway, buyer's agent. That's how I experience. Don't do it. Do it yourself. You wanted to know how? Just don't do it. I think that's about it for this particular videos. Don't forget to subscribe, comment. As I said beforehand, we're not your financial advisor. We're based on our own personal experience. We talk about, how we do things.
Investment, saving, budgeting.
If you like it,
Yes.
please do subscribe.
Thank you. See you
Peace.
next time.
Bye.